one of the other guardi asked me to suit up, to step out the door to put on the shoes, for which I refused. Yeah, I refused to put on the shoes in the first place. And then I turned around to them. In that moment, when I stepped out, I feel that, notice that my lips, because during the long hours from the first whole afternoon until the next morning, my lips are like kind of the white flakes are like a peel off, yeah, like kind of flakes all on my lips already dried. And I look at them, yeah, take a look at each one of the faces of those guards in there. I remember what you did to me in here. I remember every face of you. And then the guard behind me pushed me ahead, yeah, pushed me forward. And then I was kind of stepped outside the door, in front door. And I say that the guard one was parked right there. The backside door was already open, yeah, which is already ready for me to get on. And then the guards behind me, well, by the moment, they handcuffed me again. They handcuffed me again. And even in that moment, they still refused to give me back my puppy jacket to me. So I'm still in the early morning freeziness, still with a very thin top shirt on. Yeah. And with my socks stepping on into the van. They push me in there. And then the guard behind there throw the shoes into there. So I was pushed into the guard van there. And I guess now they were taking me to the court now. And along the way, I was locked in there. I couldn't see much of outside. It's all black in there. And on the way, when they are driving, and there's a huge wind in there, I don't know. Because my hands are tied behind my back, so I can't, like, kind of, so. And all along the way, it's very bumpy in the guard van. It's all at the moving, and I was, my head, my back, my arm, both are bumping front, backward, and right side, left side, like, Jesus, it hurt too much. It's freezingly cold. It's freezingly cold in there with a huge wind along the way when they are driving me away. And then I think during the middle of the way, they stopped somewhere, yeah, for like 10 to 15 minutes or so. I don't know where they stopped there. And then I heard they started the engine and then moved again. The guard van moved again. Then finally arrived. They finally arrived. They asked me to step out. And they asked me to go inside there. I think they sent me to the court from the back door. Yeah, not the front door. And from the back door, they threw me into another custody cell, which is located inside the court building in there. And still, they didn't give me back my clothes, my jacket. Yeah, just with my bare feet with socks and with a very thin top shirt on. And step in there and throw me there, asking, still very cold, with the, I think, steel made toilet there in the corner on the side. And then they locked the door again. I tried to stare at the guard there, and they just left and waited, shivering like I was freezing cold, shivering like this. And then I stayed there. I was kept inside there for like another 2 hours. Yeah, another 2 hours or so, because they took me. You know, I checked the time, it's like by 10 a.m. and then arrived there. And finally, they sent me to the court. It's already like nearly 12 already, yeah. So it's another couple hours locked in the custody cell, freezing cold custody cell inside the courtroom building. And finally, they escorted me into the courtroom and asked me to sit on the side bench, wait for my turn to show up there in front of the judge. And I waited there, and later, and they asked me to stand up there. And then they just passed me a piece of paper, which I posted on my previous post, which dated the date was 23rd of March, 2023. They wrote a figure. Actually, I didn't recognize what that was, actually. I only figured that 400 euro, yeah, the figure with the amount 400 euro on it, and which they want me to back to the court on the 30th of March, for which I didn't go back to, yeah, for which I explain why. So, and kind of, I think the assistant or one of the guard in the court tried to explain to me. They tried to ask me to sign it. You have to sign this. If you don't sign, you'll be. Do you still want to lock in the custody cell? Do you want to still stay back in there? You have to sign. Then you come back on 30th of March. So I finally reluctantly signed my name on it, and they took it. And finally, I was kind of asked the guard. I say the 400 euro. Do I have to pay 400 euro? And he said, no, you don't have to pay. You don't have to pay. You just come back on 30th of March. I was kind of figure because I don't trust this guard. Yeah, I sincerely don't trust this guard. Since they fooled me around there too much back there. So finally, I reluctantly signed my name on that piece of, They called it like a bail bond. I don't know if that piece of paper referred to the bail bond called by somebody below my comments or somebody there. I don't know. I have no idea. Yeah. I only know that I'm not supposed to pay anything for those things those guards impose upon me. So since they say they're gonna put me back in there, leaving me be frozen further, I already be frozen so much, which has beyond my I think crossed my beyond my limitation. I can stand with frozen. My body is all frozen. Like I can't even feel the temperature now. And then I signed my name, and that's the final moment. The guard step out of the courtroom, and throw me back the bag to me. And return my jacket, my puffy jacket to me finally. So I put it on, get on my bag on my back. And when I step out the courtroom building of the courtesy court, my phone was already switched off by the guard. So I switched my phone on, try to check. And try to send out a message to the school, to the language college, to the teacher, whose name is called Paula. Yeah, I sent her a message that I tried to explain that why I was absent that morning from a morning class on the morning of 23rd. I said I was detained by the policeman at the police station, a guard station. For what reason? And she replied to me, "Oh, Jean, that's awful. Have you contacted the college to tell them about this?" And then she kind of replied two piece of messages to me. "If you haven't, I'll go to the office after the class. I'll tell them." And I replied to her, "Yes, please. No, please, thank you. Please help me tell the college about my situation there." So finally released me. When I step out there, I switch my phone. It's already minutes past 1. Yeah, it's already like nearly 1:30 p.m. already. When I step out, it's already like nearly 1 p.m. already. When I sent out a message to the teacher, it's nearly 1:30. I was, and along the way back, I was walking myself back to Sheila's hostel. I was wondering, how the hell, what did I do? Yeah, what did I do to get in myself into this unholy mess? With my mouth, I can even, at that moment, I tried to switch on to look into the mirror on my phone. What a mess, yeah. What a defeated mess, how I was in that moment. So I walked back to Sheila's hostel, and I found out that some of my important stuff was stolen